SexyHackers.com.
Sexy Hackers Clothing presents a podcast where anything can happen, so long as it's written down in a book. Warning: do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures that you may have when a scientific genius lets you test his latest invention, the Superbike. From time to time, as you read along, you'll have a chance to make a choice. After you make your decision, follow the instructions to find out what happens to you next. On the Superbike, you may have a chance to win a cross-country bike race and become rich and famous. But be careful. There are people out there who would like to get their hands on the Superbike any way they can. Good luck.
SexyHackers.com.
Life is like a story with many paths to choose. I gotta get some good friends to help me make it through. So here's the plan. Just take my hand, the adventure's just begun. And all we have to do is turn to page fun.
And hello, and welcome to Turn to Page Fun, the only podcast where I, your host, Nick Fearer, read through a bunch of game books like Choose Your Own Adventure and the like with a bunch of my funny friends, and we review them. An idea that's so good that I immediately stole it from my partner and froze her out of the production process. Today, we are reading Superbike by Edward Packard, copyright 1992.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's a newer one.
Relatively speaking.
Relatively within the last, 25 years? I don't know how time works. With me, over on my right, I have a comedian, mad scientist, and meanest person I know, Miss Stacy Pawlowski.
Thanks for having me back, Nick.
Hi, Stacy. What horrible things have you done this week?
Always a great question.
I did do something kind of mean this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was rubbing it in real hard to Eric that I was going to get to hang out with Brian Green all day, and he wasn't.
Oh.
Very mean.
You
There's
are
no win in that.
That is awful of you,
I know.
Stacy.
He was jealous.
Yeah. All the way over on my left, I have a musician, a comedian and improviser and funny writer and good friend, Mr. Brian Bayer. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good. It is post the holiday season.
It is post the holiday season when this
yes,
is coming out.
because it's February now.
Yes, and hopefully we have survived the whole January.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping. And I'm excited to get on the Superbike. So far, this sounds a little bit like the plot of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But that wasn't a Superbike. That was just his bike.
Did you see that bike, though?
Yeah, it was a nice bike.
It was a nice bike.
That's a great idea.
Paging Mr. Herbert.
Anyway, but this is different.
This will be different. All right.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have a very special guest today. We have a comedian, improviser, and escape the room employee.
Yes.
Mr. Brian Green. Hi, Brian.
What's up, Nick?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't wait to get me some of this bike. I'm bike curious. Wah, wah.
Oh, man. We're going to have
That was
those.
Stacy being mean.
Brian Burns. Brian Puns.
Hashtag
Too many
It's
Brians.
a no.
You spell your name with an I or a Y?
An I.
Oh, okay, cool. Like a man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because a Brian with a Y is just a Ryan with a B. That's what I always say.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yup, that.
Unless you're Ryan Johnson, but he doesn't count.
Okay.
See, these non-Brians don't get it.
Oh, yeah. We don't get it. I've actually, if you're not watching this on YouTube, for those of you listening, I have segregated the Brians to one side of the
I
you
mean-
told me, don't do that.
I mean-
and now here this come. Yay, this shit.
Well, you get Stacy's with I's and Y's, right? Do you ever get asked that?
and
Stacey?
a heart over the
Yeah.
eye. Smack.
Inevitable. But
There was
there's
this
no
girl. There was a Stacy in high school who called herself Stacy IE, but I thought her last name was IE. I always did, and then it was just she was telling you as she introduced herself how you spell her name, which I thought was a bit much. But-
Wait, doesn't IE mean something in like punctuation? It's like, I'm Stacy,
Oh,
IE.
Right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
suck.
That she should say,
Suck.
"Hi, I'm Stacy IE." Yeah,
Oh
it's like
my
she never
God.
finished it. Yeah, I know it's annoying.
weird.
Wait, she would say Stacy IE and not Stacy with an IE?
No, she would say, "My name is Stacy IE."
Yeah, that's gonna make it sound
That's
like her
gonna
last name is
confuse
I
everybody.
thought it was her
IE.
last name. Yeah,
Stacy IE. If you're out there,
that's like if you
Individual.
introduce, like, I'm Kathy with a K. Like, who cares?
right?
He could be Nick with a K, but it's silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but never Nick with a Y.
No, don't. Don't. I'd
It'd be
have,
weird.
I'd have to eat the rest of these chips on air, and y'all would hate that. And I would do it.
All right, let's get on this.
Let's get on
on
this
the bike.
Superbike and see where it takes us. You've just settled down in your seat at the movie theater. The house lights have darkened, and the show is about to begin. As you reach into your popcorn bucket, you move your foot a little and kick something. You reach down. It's a wallet. There's no way in any of the nearby, nobody in any of the nearby seats. It must have fallen out of somebody's pocket at an earlier show. When the lights come on after the movie, you look inside the wallet. It contains over $300 in cash,
My money.
along with some credit cards, a driver's license, and a scrap of paper with what looks like mathematical formulas written on it. The driver's license belongs to Dr. Aaron Kelper of 330 Wildwood Road. For an instant, you think about how nice it would be to have $300. But you put that thought out of your mind quickly.
Oh, we don't even get the choice here.
When you get home, you call information to get Dr. Kelper's number.
Oh, this is the 90s.
Sure, he's going to give you some money for giving him his money.
You dial it, and after several rings, a voice answers. Dr. Kelper? You say. Yes. I think I found your wallet. It was under my seat at the movies. Oh, thank you, he says, almost shouting. You can't imagine how
Slur.
important that wallet is to me. Sure I can, you say. $300 is a lot of money. It's not that at all, he says. Where are you?
No, dude, I'm not telling you. Why is your voice like that?
Because I want him to be a German. He's a
Super effete.
He's a scientist, so he's German. He's an effete German. You give Dr. Kelper your address. He says he'll be over right away. His house is only a couple miles from yours. As you wait for him to arrive, you wonder whether he will give you a reward. From the way he sounded, the money wasn't the most important thing in his wallet.
No.
So you take it now.
As you're thinking about how you would spend the reward money, the doorbell rings. You open it,
Ding dong.
and the man standing on the front steps introduces himself as Dr. Kepler. He's a small, spindly man with frizzy brown hair. One of his legs is shorter than the other.
What?
And he walks with the aid of a cane.
Give me that cane.
Oh, thank you, he says, practically ripping the wallet out of your hand. He opens it and pulls out the scrap of paper with the mathematical formulas on it and lets the wallet drop to the floor. Still here, he says. How could I have been so stupid as to let it out of my hand? You quickly pick up the wallet and hold it out. Dr. Kepler takes it. Yes, I'll need these other things, he says. For the first time, he looks at you. He smiles and holds out his hand. Thank you very much, he says. You're welcome. You're thinking that if he's going to offer you a reward, now would be the time to do it.
Hell yeah.
I'm a lucky man, he says, not just because I got my wallet back, but also because I found a person I can now trust. He looks at the formulas again.
Could you keep a secret? The fuck, dude?
And folds the paper carefully and puts it in his jacket pocket. You see, I need an honest person to try out my latest invention.
What? Why is that a qualification for testing this? All right.
What kind of invention? You asked Dr. Kepler. You can see for yourself. Can you come to my laboratory Saturday morning at 10 o'clock? It's only a couple miles from here.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
Sure, I'll come over on my bike.
Cool.
Dr. Kepler strokes his chin for a moment, looking thoughtful. Then he says, "Walk. Even though it takes longer, I'm going to give you a bike to ride home. A bike you'll like a lot better than the one you have." "Oh, great," you say. "I'll be there."
Here, kid, ride this.
"Good. See you on Saturday. My address is 330 Wildwood Road. I'll be in my laboratory. It's the building just behind my house."
No, don't go, kid. Just don't.
Dr. Kepler turns and starts for the door without another word. You watch him patting his jacket pocket as he walks to his car. You're pleased, of course, but rather puzzled. Is Dr. Kepler really going to give you a new bike as a reward? And what could his invention be? That Saturday, you walk to Dr. Kepler's laboratory, which is located in a converted barn behind his house. As soon as Dr. Kepler opens the door, you see a shiny new bike standing in the middle of the floor. It's a beauty, low and streamlined, with just 3 flat spokes on each wheel. It's painted blue. Not an ordinary blue, but a shining, glimmering, greenish blue.
Oh, without a doubt, Doctor was good.
It's got a flux capacitor on it.
You gaze admiringly at the bike. Notice
Shit, they got pictures.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They got pictures. That's you with Dr. Kepler.
That is
looking at the
totally
bike.
not me, man.
No, that's not you. That's a little white boy with
This
dark
is
hair and
Bill
freckles.
Nye's rapey cousin. Look at this dude, man.
Does he have a big bow tie?
Yes, he's got a big boat. All right. So, as Brian describes, Bill Nye's rapey cousin is presenting you a bike, and he's got glasses on and hair.
Short little man.
And he's a short man, and he's wearing a crumpled up suit coat, and he's got one leg behind the other, and he's leaning on a cane, and he's got a weird look on his face.
And he definitely don't need that bike with that foot.
I think he'd invent some kind of prosthesis, but
You would think, like, if he invented a bicycle and one leg is shorter than the other, wouldn't like one pedal be shorter?
maybe that's
on
why he needs you to test it.
Might have a block on it.
Yeah.
Right.
On that one
Oh,
on
yeah,
that
there
one
you go.
pedal, and then
That
you
makes
know
sense.
it's like whack. Is he riding it? But those wheels are kind of cool in a way because they look like the ones you see like pimped out.
Yeah.
78 Cutlass. I mean Capris. Chevy Capris had those on them.
Yeah. There's 3 spokes. They're not just quite spokes. They're
They're curved.
all curvy. Yeah, they look like nice rims. Notice anything unusual about it? Dr. Kepler asks. It sure looks fast, you say.
No, you idiot. Maybe you weren't the right person to bring here.
I no longer trust you.
It is, but that's not what I meant. Pick it up. You walk over, grab hold of the frame, and lift the bike right over your head. Wow, it's so light. You stand back to admire the bike from a distance.
Steroids.
This is no ordinary bike, you say. No, indeed, says Dr. Kepler. And I'm about to make it even less ordinary. I'm about to make it a super bike.
Why are you unzipping your pants, Doctor? What does that got to do with the bike?
That's ordinary.
He takes a small...
That was so creepy.
That's ordinary.
Damn,
Indeed.
Brian.
This is a special bike.
Dude, you might get a Y before we leave here.
Oh,
It's gonna be Brian with a Y.
I'll
Stop
behave myself.
doing that.
I'll behave myself.
No, don't. Keep reading, Nick.
He takes a small silver cone-shaped object out of his pocket and screws it onto the middle of the handlebars. This is my invention, he says. I call it the air magnet. It's based on a formula that was in my wallet. It's a formula I don't want to reveal to anyone because the same principles could be used to make weapons.
What the fuck are you telling me?
Because he can trust you.
You don't want nobody to know. I'm gonna die, ain't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might die.
Yep.
You die a lot in these books. What does the air magnet do? Kepler smiles. That's what you're going to find out for me.
Oh shit! No, dude, I'm not test piloting this.
What about a
bullshit.
magnet?
Have you
How do
read
they
it yet?
work?
Footy, have you? Fuck that. No.
Yeah, this is probably illegal. This is definitely illegal.
I'm telling
This
you.
is kind of test piloting.
Students making me want to eat chips.
You see, because of my disability, I'm not able to ride a bike. I need someone else to test it. It
Easily
has
designed it
to be someone I can trust.
Wait, Doc, did you get your disability riding the last bike?
Ever since my tragic bike accident 2 years ago.
Yeah, rides this.
You are that person. Well, I'd love to try it, you say. But if it's so valuable, I'm not sure I want to be responsible for it. What if it were stolen from me? Makes you jump around. That's a danger, he says. But if this bike is ever taken from you, I know it wasn't your fault because you've already proven to me that you're honest. Okay, I'll try it, you say. And thanks for choosing me. But first tell me, what does the air magnet do? Dr. Kepler nods. Do you know what keeps a bike from going faster than it does? He asks. You can only pedal so fast, you say.
Yeah.
That's one reason, he says. There are three others. One is the friction of the moving parts,
Yes.
and another is the friction of the tires against the road. The high-tech racing bike reduces these to almost nothing. The third and most important factor is resistance. The faster you go, the faster the wind blows against you. Does
not
the
blowing
air
you, dude.
magnet change that? Exactly. The air magnet sends out a stream of charges that repulses air molecules. The air coming at the bike is diverted to the sides. Riding the superbike is like riding with the wind always at your back, blowing at the same speed that you are moving. I can't wait to try it, you say. Okay, wait. If it repulses the air, how do you
He's
breathe?
repulsive.
I don't know. I don't know how
Oh my
how do
God.
you generate
How do you get it outside?
I don't know.
There's like no friction. It would just like go. And you're like,
How's it in one spot now?
it's good. It's at rest. I don't know.
The kickstand. It's always the kickstand.
It's a magnet.
You can do more than try it, Dr. Kepler says. The superbike is yours to keep. It's your reward for your honesty. All I ask is that you call me after you've used it for a while and let me know how it works.
Like this dude got a cell phone. This is 92.
Dr. Kepler throws open the double doors to the laboratory. He hands you a wire bike lock. That wire is made from a special alloy I developed in my laboratory, he says. It can't be cut by any shears or even by a blowtorch. He hands you a tiny slip of paper. This is a combination to the lock. Memorize it when you get home. Then hide this piece of paper where no one will ever find it.
Stick it where the sun don't shine. That's basically what he just told his kid.
How did he cut the wire to make the
Yeah, no
wire?
shit. I didn't even make a check. Yeah. Doctor, explain.
He gestures toward the bike. To work the air magnet, twist the knob to the right to deflect the air ahead of the bike. By the way, the magnet is coded, so it can't be used on any other bike. You eagerly grab the handlebars and swing one foot over the frame. You twist the knob to the right. You can't wait to see what the super bike can do. The bike has regular brakes, Dr. Kepler continues, but you can
course.
brake even faster by using the air magnet instead. Just twist the knob to the left. That will reverse the airflow.
And you will fly off
Yes,
the back however
yes, you
fast
will.
you are
So
going.
far down.
Now, I haven't invented any way to protect your head, but we'll figure that out.
Here's another one called the parachute.
You hop on the bike and kick off. Even before you pedaled, the bike has rolled halfway along the driveway.
Oh, shit.
As you start pedaling, it picks up speed quickly. Good luck, Dr. Kepler calls out.
Hell no.
He did not give us a helmet. I would like to
No,
point
he
that
did
out.
not just say good luck like that.
Shouldn't I sign a waiver? Don't worry about it.
Wow, we got a ways to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a long
We
time
haven't
before
even
This is a
had a
long-ass
choice.
intro.
All right, let's keep going.
All right.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, let's power through this intro, guys. You hold up a hand to show you've heard him. Then you wheel around the corner, pedaling lazily while the bike accelerates to 20 miles per hour. You pedal faster, gaining on a car ahead of you. You pass it at 35 miles per hour, then glance back to see the look of astonishment on the driver's face.
Please keep your eyes on the road, child.
You keep pedaling, easily maintaining 30 miles per hour.
How do
The
you...
strange thing is that there's no wind in your face. You're sure that you could go quite a bit faster, but there's a stop sign about a quarter mile ahead. You decide that you'd better try the brakes before you do anything else.
You fly off the front of the bike.
First, you try the regular brakes, just to make sure they work. Then you twist the knob on the air magnet. Suddenly, you feel the wind in your face. The air magnet is attracting instead of repulsing the air. The Superbike quickly and smoothly slows down. You coast to the side of the road and hop off. The car you passed earlier goes by. The driver practically drives off the road. He can't keep his eyes off your bike.
You better watch that driver.
Yeah.
Hey, kid, you want to ride?
I got my Superbike.
When you get home, you put your bike in the garage and lock it to a metal pipe that helps support the garage roof.
How are you turning so many pages? Dude, you was on page 18, now you're on page 110. How did that happen?
All right, so don't choose your own adventure books work. Is
I
that
told you I've never done this before.
So they break up the story among a bunch of pages, so you can't easily like just read through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
can't
confused as
peek ahead.
shit.
Yeah. So
Even when there hasn't been a choice yet, sometimes
they make you
it
jump
bounces you around.
I choose not to go in that dude's laboratory because he says laboratory, not laboratory like most motherfuckers. I'm not doing that. Later, brah.
Then you go to your room and memorize the lock combination. After carefully hiding the piece of paper, you sit on the edge of your bed and try to sort out your thoughts.
And immediately forget the combination.
Owning the Superbike is exciting, but it's also quite a responsibility. You wonder whether you should show your friends what it can do. You'd love to show it off, but you're afraid of what could happen if word got out about the bike's amazing powers. Maybe you should pretend it's just an ordinary bike, only race it out on the back roads. If you decide to show your friends what the bike can do, turn to page 12. If you decide to keep the Superbike's special powers a secret, turn to page 35. Okay, that's our first choice. What do we want to do?
Show that shit off, man.
We want to brag the bike?
Yeah, I'm not gonna ride it on the back roads when there's an accident and then I'm dead and then he just comes collects his bike again. He's probably tracking us, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, what are you?
Yeah,
doing?
I'm thinking I would probably keep it a secret. I mean,
Yeah,
it's my
secret?
bike. It's my bike. I would have to reveal it slowly.
Oh,
Not
okay.
just give it all away on the first date. I ain't like that.
Oh, yeah. Test it out first, see what it can really do.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then so none of my friends get hurt trying out my new bike because they don't want to ride it definitely because you got the super bike and
Too bad for them. It's my damn bike.
you damn sweet is my bike. I ain't gonna let them ride. I said they're gonna want to.
Oh yeah,
They gonna
true.
want to
Oh,
all
yeah.
the rest of this story and they still ain't getting on it.
Gang
They're
up
gonna
and-
figure it out eventually once you're flying around or whatever the bike does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's to reveal it slowly and not tell them.
All right.
So we'll go into.
So we're going to go ahead and keep it a secret?
Test it.
And the
Secretly?
first one I would tell is the girl I got a crush on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm crushing hard. I'm trying to get this. Hey, girl, you want to go ride on a super bike? Hell yeah, I got one. The rest of these broke ass motherfuckers ain't got one.
Check out the rims on this bike.
super bike.
Look at the rims on this
Look
thing.
at, yep. And the dude hit another tree watching me. Another tree. Like, this dude just hit trees all the time.
Ever hear of an air magnet?
Yeah, about an airbag.
Well, that's not. Yeah. There still hasn't been a choice for a helmet yet, so I'm disappointed in Edward Packard for not.
I think it's implied. Like, all the pictures of you on the bike have you in a helmet.
Oh, that's
okay.
good. Wow.
Yeah. No. No.
Whoever wore a helmet in the 90s got his bike took. Give me that shit. The fucking helmet. Get out of here with that.
It became law where I grew up in the 90s that you had to wear a bike helmet, and I was like, I'm not riding a bike anymore.
I'm walking.
I'm gonna walk.
Wait till they invent the super bike and then we'll see who wearing a helmet, bitch. Get off me.
All right, we're gonna find out what happens when we don't tell our friends about the super bike after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
Today's episode of Turn to Page Fun is brought to you by physics. Physics. It doesn't have to exist. Physics.
SexyHackers.com.
And we are back to Turn to Page Fun. Currently, we are reading Superbike by Edward Packard, copyright Bantam Books, 1992. And so far, You, the protagonist, we're at a movie. It doesn't specify what movie that you saw.
92?
In 92, Jurassic Park.
Probably Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
that may
Park.
have been 93, but
That
Home
movie
Alone
was a piece of shit. Fuck Jurassic Park.
oh, I don't know.
Dude, at me. Whoever feel like it. My name is Brian Green.
Here we go.
I live on almost in Wauwatosa, and I'm far as fuck from home. But Jurassic Park was the worst piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my life because I read the book.
Oh,
And
yeah.
was I disappointed?
Okay, that's
Very,
fair. That's
very, very disappointed. Eat a dick, Jurassic Park.
So as we, the protagonists, were being horribly disappointed by Jurassic Park, we found a wallet. In that wallet was an address and $300. We returned the wallet to a weird German scientist.
You decided it was German.
That I decided was German because aren't all scientists German? And then you get so for returning the wallet, he gives you a Superbike that has his invention, which is an air magnet, which can manipulate airflow friction around you.
Yeah.
And so now you're on a super awesome
Physics.
fast bike. And we decided we were given a choice of whether or not to brag the bike right away or
Sorry, y'all.
to
test it out secretly.
Test it out
on the
secretly.
back roads.
and we decided to test it out secretly until we knew what it can do and show off when we were good at it.
So we must live in or near some kind of rural area.
That means no black people. Rural 1992 America. Fuck yeah, I know what I'm saying.
There's-
Nope, nearly slurred, not. Got the rights.
There's
Check
cows.
me.
There's at him, ladies and gentlemen.
At me.
You decide to ride your old bike to school and around the neighborhood. If you bring your Superbike to school, everyone will keep pestering you, wanting to ride it. But after school and weekends, you take the Superbike out on the back roads and rev it up to high speeds. 30 miles per hour is practically coasting for this bike. With a little effort, you can get up to 40, then 45, then 50 miles per hour.
Did he put a speedometer on it? He must have. Unless you're just so good at like estimating how fast you're going.
Well, how can you
You see
be?
mile markers. Come on,
yeah.
y'all. Duh.
on the back roads. Yeah.
I'm just like imagining like little stone mile markers on the side of the road now.
Painted on a cow somewhere. Keep that cow from moving. You need that one.
He looks delicious.
When cars pass you, the people in them always have the same astonished look on their faces. They can't believe a bike could be going that fast.
Good job hiding it from everyone, kid.
You know they must be wondering where the motor is. It's not long before you begin to think about entering some big races and tours. The most important one coming
Race,
up the
sir.
following summer is the Tour of America. It's destined to be the greatest bike race of all time. It starts on July 1st at noon with an opening lap around Central Park in New York City.
All right.
Then goes across the George Washington Bridge to New Jersey and through a whole string of states to the finish line in Aspen, Colorado.
What?
Yeah, that's from New York to Aspen, Colorado.
And everybody else got a regular bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got a super bike. They got hotel reservations all the way across the United States to get to fucking Aspen where it's going to be cold as shit. And what time of year is this? And what time of year is it when you get to Aspen?
It starts
Yeah,
at July
how long
1st.
would that take?
July
2 months?
1st, yeah.
And then however long it takes you to get to Aspen on
So
your
like
bike.
a few minutes.
I will be Googling.
Also, I like how you're like, no, I got to keep this under wraps. Now I will enter the most public forum possible.
On a fun. Oh, and I'm sure that bike will get through the weight restrictions that they have for bikes during these kind of contests. When the judge walk over to it and pick it up with his pinky.
Or they just watch you do the lap. They're like, okay, that guy's disqualified. I don't know what the fuck he's doing,
on that bike.
but you are out. This is not okay.
The race is estimated to take 2 weeks or more for the leading bikers. Hostels have been set up along the way where the bikers can sleep overnight or rest during the hottest parts of the day.
I thought you said hostiles.
Me too. It's like, up that bike, bitch. Up that bike. What's wrong with you, fool? Riding through here like that.
It's a derby. It's like Mario Kart. Turtle shells will be thrown at you along the way.
How long does it take to get from New Jersey to Aspen, Colorado on a bike, Siri? Keep reading.
All right.
It says 2 weeks in the book, but he doesn't know anything. Helicopters over the course will check to make sure none of the bikers are hitching a ride. Millions of people will
When you ride eye level with the pilot, it's something up. He look out and see a bike next to him. He gonna be like, what? Why am I here?
Millions of people will crowd along the route to watch the bike racers go by.
How the fuck is this a secret?
This is the worst idea.
You must have turned to the wrong page.
Have
man.
we even
Go back
called
80.
the
Did
scientist yet? Have we even called him?
No, we
to
haven't
say,
called
oh,
him yet.
it works.
We
by
have to
the
win the
way.
race before we call him.
On your cell phone that you ain't got.
Yeah.
The race will be covered on national TV. Several large companies are sponsoring the event, and the grand prize is $100,000. The more you think about the Tour of America, the more determined you are to enter it and win.
Yeah, that's how you keep a secret.
Yeah.
You start reading up on biking and training. On weekends, you take your bike out on longer and longer runs. Your goal is not to see how fast you can go, but to build up your endurance and learn to shift smoothly every time. The day you realize...
This ain't got an automatic transmission. What kind of super bike? Hit the clutch. Fuck is this?
One day, you realize that you had better go check and make sure that you're using the air magnet is legal in competition.
No, it's absolutely not.
No, the jury.
No way.
They're like, technically, it doesn't say anything about air magnets.
You're right.
True.
It probably does not.
Clearly still cheating.
You send away for a copy of the rules used in the bike tours. Rule number 7 states that no bike will be allowed to use a motor or engine of any kind. You don't know exactly how the air magnet works,
You're a big ICP fan.
but it's certainly not a motor or
I
an
don't even know
engine.
what that stands for, but it sounds funny.
That is the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, that's like ICP.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
ICP.
Because I'm 4. So.
P.
He was all proud too. P. Go. Book.
You don't know exactly how the air magnet works, but it's certainly not a motor or an engine since it doesn't use fuel or have any moving parts. Therefore, your superbike is perfectly legal. And that means you could be in for some really big prize money.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Or you
not.
just sell the technology to some big company. No, they'll have you killed.
Spring arrives. You're excited about your chances of winning the Tour of America, though you know it's not going to be a piece of cake. After all, your competition will be world-class professional racers,
Without an air bike.
Yeah, without the air magnet.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
including Pierre Lebeau,
Oh shit.
the top
Pierre.
biker in the world.
Fucking Pierre, man. I swear he. Ooh, fucking Pierre, dude, you getting jacked.
You'll be riding all over all kinds of terrain and all kinds of
No,
weather.
you won't. You'll be in the air. You be over it, but not on it.
Day after day, even with a super bike, you can't expect to win unless you've honed your skills to the utmost.
You definitely can't expect to win.
You could. You
It's like
will
having a car.
win.
It's like having a car.
And
in a bike
everybody else
race.
got
Yeah.
a bike.
Yeah.
'Cause you passed a car on your bike, and these. Oh, okay. Let's ground dwellers.
Foolish ground people.
Foolish ground people.
Gravity means
Oh
nothing.
my God.
Physics.
Wait, Brian, do you think that this bike is flying?
Yes.
No, it just goes through the air. Like it has no
Okay,
air
that's,
resistance.
that's what I think of not flying when I hear goes through the air.
Yeah, it's
Until we hit a hill or
Yeah.
a bump and we fly off the top of the hill.
because
and
you're
then
going
we
so
fly.
fast.
Yep.
I think
I
it
know,
does fly, though.
Yeah, it does. It probably does
I
fly because
see
it's
a little
flying.
white dude on a bike that is not touching the ground. Fuck out of here. It's on the cover. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by the cover, but this is some bullshit. I'm seeing trees. He's over trees. trees.
There's a bird flying back, and
Yeah, and he's looking at a bird. I couldn't even make that out. I ain't got on my glasses, but I do see. I don't see him. Fuck this. This is wrong.
all right, let's just wait till we get in the air.
One day, you read in a cycling magazine about a bike racing training camp in Squaw Valley, California.
So you fly out on your bike.
It might be a good idea to spend a couple of weeks there and get some professional coaching. On the other hand, if you go to bike camp, you'll have to pass the Tour New England,
This one time at bike camp.
an important
Sorry.
warm-up race for the Tour of America.
Of course.
Getting some practice riding under actual racing conditions might be more valuable than anything a coach could teach you. If you decide to go to bike camp, turn to page 21. If you enter the Tour New England, turn to page 56.
I want to go to bike camp.
You want to go to bike camp?
Yep.
Bike
Where
camp.
are your parents, and do they know anything about your sudden interest in biking? Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to bike camp in California.
Okay, honey, tell your dad.
All right, tell your mom. Sweet.
Did I mention I had a flying bike? Did I say anything about? Are we covered?
I'm just going to ride there on my bike. Sounds good. Be back by dinner.
And then he
We're
show
having
up.
stroganoff.
I think I want to see bike camp because Tour New England. That's just going to give your secret away.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, yeah, you went to New England on
Oh.
this
And-
obviously illegal bike.
We don't much care for bikers like you around here.
There's
You've been biking too fast around here.
We had one down in Derry. That didn't work out.
We don't like bikers.
There's always some wacky, sexy adventures at a camp.
wacky,
Oh, yeah.
sexy adventures.
Some wacky, sexy bike adventures. Okay.
That's what I predicted at bike camp.
So what are you thinking, Brian?
I'm thinking bike camp.
Bike camp? We're all going to go to bike
Bike camp.
camp?
Without a doubt.
Bike camp.
I mean,
Going to bike camp.
that's affected by gravity, and I think he's above all that right now. He should be.
He should be flying. He should be flying.
He should start his own fucking camp.
Yeah. Also, still
I got a
nowhere.
bike that flies. What you got?
Yeah. No word to Dr. Kepler, though.
No word yet to Dr. Kepler.
Not said shit to him.
Nope.
Yeah. You ingrate. All right.
You should be following up, too. Like, say, remember that magical bike I gave you? How's that working?
How's my magical bike working? I
look
need to
behind and
know.
you got like
My
3
garage
balloons
is
on the
about to
bike.
fall through.
I put all this effort in, and now I'm just going to forget about it, I guess.
You've been journaling about it every day. Yes.
So no time for Kepler. Very well.
All right, so we're going to go see what happens when we go to bike camp after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
Today's episode of Turn to Page Fun is brought to you by Le Bicycle. Hello, I am Pierre Lebeau, famous French biking champion, and I would like to recommend my personal brand bicycle, Le Bicycle, the only bike that I trust to take me on the Tour de France, Tour de Germany, Tour de America, any kind of tour, you'll need Le Bicycle. It's the fastest bike in the world, as far as I know.
SexyHackers.com.
And we are back to Turn to Page Fun. We are currently reading Superbike by Edward Packard, copyright Bantam Books, 1992. We have received a bike, an amazing bike from a German scientist that I decided was German. And on it, it has his new invention, which manipulates the air around you to reduce drag. And we decided that we were going to keep that bike a secret, and then immediately decided that we were going to use it in the most public race in America. And then we decided that we could either try it out in a smaller race, like a warm-up race, or we could go to bike camp to figure out how to be a bike racer to begin with.
Okay, what we pass up to go to bike camp? What was the other one?
It was the Tour of New England,
okay.
which would be a smaller race to get us actual race experience. But
Still very public.
yes,
Like,
It's not a secret.
right. So while we're keeping this bike a secret from our friends, we are making it greatly public by going to race it and then going to bike camp to figure out how to race it the best.
Maybe we're just going to bring our regular bike, though, to bike camp and learn how to be a good biker.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I doubt it, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Would you take your regular bike anywhere after you get this fucking super bike? I would be like, hey, bike, I love you, bro, but we got to break company.
Bike camp begins on June 2nd and lasts a month. That's
July
cutting
2nd.
it really close because the big race is July 1st. So, all right.
Wait, that's past the big race. June 2nd?
June 2nd to July
July-
2nd.
July
You're gonna miss
2nd.
the
Well, you know,
race.
the week before, you're going to be like, I'm out of here, losers.
You just fly away on your bike. Thanks for the pointers.
See you at
Splash
the
mud on
finish
him.
line.
Splash mud on everyone.
The moment you arrive, you feel you've made a good choice.
Oh, good.
Shit.
Squaw Valley, nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains, is a beautiful area.
That is so racist.
It is. You and about 50 other young bikers will be housed in a ski lodge that's empty now in the off season. The coaching staff is made up of former world-class racers, including the Austrian biker Werner Haupt, who won the Tour de France 2 years in a row.
Who's going to sound suspiciously like the German scientist.
I don't know what you're talking about. My accent work is impeccable.
No, man, your shit's peckable as hell. Your shit is totally peckable.
Wow.
You soon make friends with several of the other bikers, even though you're the youngest one in the camp. Some of the more experienced racers are skeptical that you could even finish, much less win, the Tour of America. At
See my bike,
breakfast,
bitches.
the first morning, a biker at your table named Thad Williams
Oh, punch him in the face. Fuck that. No. Don't even let Thad get within arms. If Thad get close enough, bop him.
tells you that this is his second year at the camp. He warns that the first day of practice will include a 20-mile stretch with several long, steep slopes. Anyone who doesn't finish in 2 hours may be sent home, he says.
I fucking hate Thad.
What's your name, Thad?
Thad's last name would be.
You chuckle. You're not worried about making the time. Don't laugh, Thad says. Some of those hills are wicked. And another problem is navigation. You have to follow a map. And if you make a wrong turn, you're almost certain to miss the deadline.
Fuck you, fuck your map. I got my bike flies, Thad. Fuck out of here, bitch.
Maybe we could ride along together, you say. This time it's Thad who chuckles. Sure, if you can keep up with me.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
He said Thad is such a Thad.
Thad with 2 D's.
Thad with 1 D.
And a K at the start, but it's silent.
Cthulhu.
Thad. That's the sound you make when you fall off that bike.
Yeah.
Thad.
Later, someone tells you that Thad is one of the top bikers in the camp. It's believed that he has a shot at finishing among the leaders in the Tour of America. At 9 a.m., all 50 campers take off down the long access road to the Squaw Valley ski area. The weather is perfect. The bikers are eager to prove themselves. The pace is fast from the beginning, taking advantage of the downhill slope that begins the course. The pack stays grouped pretty closely together for the first couple of miles
They're drafting.
until the slope begins to level out.
Oh, shit.
Thad Williams has been hanging back near the rear of the pack. You've been trailing a few yards behind him since you agreed to ride together. However, the two of you are so far back, you're beginning to wonder whether he's as much of a hotshot as you've heard.
He has a super bike too.
But you only heard it from Thad. You ain't heard it no place else. Thad said, I'm a hot shot. Fuck you, Thad. Pop. All mine going to end up with me punching Thad in the face. I'm sorry.
He's holding back. Maybe he's trying to make you lose, and at some point, he's just going to like rocket to the front. And be like,
Yeah, that's his patented move.
Yeah.
Read on.
According to your map, the next 5 miles will consist of a long, gentle upgrade. Just as the trail begins to curve up, Thad glances over his shoulder at you. It's been nice riding with you, he calls out. But I've got to pick up a little ground now. He shifts gears and accelerates. In a moment,
Oh, God, I hate that so much.
He's passing other bikers right and left. With a grin, you activate the air magnet and start pedaling hard.
You're still going against gravity. It's not an anti-gravity like magnet.
You pick up speed rapidly,
Of course.
shifting down and then up several times. Other bikers give you surprised glances as you go by.
You'll fade in a hurry at that rate, kid.
One of them yells.
Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, that's who yelled it.
Yeah. Hey,
What
man.
a human.
Oh, human. Oh, you have a Q28 space modulator.
Flipto?
Flipto. It was Flipto.
Yeah.
I hate that I know that both of you are right.
Yeah.
Instead of answering, you pedal harder.
Give him the finger.
Thad is showing his stuff too, riding through the pack. As if it were-
Tuck it in, Thad.
Tuck it in,
Bike
Thad.
shorts are
Dicks
not.
out for Thad.
as if it were standing still. By the top of the long upgrade, he's in the lead. He doesn't look around until he reaches the peak of the slope. Then he glances back and sees that you're right behind him. You can see the shocked look on his face. You know that he probably thought you'd still be in the back of the pack. Good biking, kid, he calls over his shoulder. But you better pace yourself. That hill we just climbed is flat compared to what's ahead. On the next stretch, you take it easy. You know you're not as strong or in as good a condition as most of the other bikers. And you want to save your energy for the steep climb that lies ahead. Thad Williams is still the only biker ahead of you as you start creeping up a very steep stretch of road. Your air magnet isn't much use going up steep hills because gravity is the big problem rather than air resistance.
Yep.
Oh, this is some Brian
right.
calls, dude. Y'all couldn't have made that.
By the time you reach the top, two other bikers have passed you. Thad, now on the downside of the hill, has opened up his lead even more. Okay, Superbike, you say, shifting and adjusting the air magnet. Let's go.
Get it, Super.
I'm wondering why your bike is going. Whoa, 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 whoa.
The Superbike flies downhill. Quickly, you pass everyone who overtook you on the way up. With about 5 miles to go, you breeze by Thad, who's beginning to tire from the blistering pace he's set. You wave as you go by, but he keeps his head down, pedaling hard. By the time he finishes the race,
He's just Thad.
you settle at a redwood picnic table with your feet up, sipping orange juice, admiring the view of the snowfields near the top of Squaw Mountain.
Wondering how you got orange juice.
Putting on your sunglasses. I could get used to this. Whoa.
Everything's coming up me.
The other bikers come straggling in. Those who aren't too tired crowd around you. Mike Tekowski.
What's he sound like?
I don't know. Let's see. The head coach lays a hand on your shoulder.
Want to join me in the shower?
Fine, let's do it. I don't know where you got that bike, kid, or how you got so good. But I know that if you keep this up, you've got a good chance of winning the Tour of America. Most of the other bikers clap you on the back and congratulate you.
Not Thad.
Caught back, clap.
But a few seem resentful.
There's got to be something special about that bike.
One
Tell
guy
me,
says.
do right. What the fuck are you doing here? You got a horse.
I'd sure like to know what that is.
No.
Big dumb guy, too.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You know he got a huge chin.
It's just incredibly well made, you say.
By a scientist.
Who cut some stuff that couldn't be cut.
Yeah.
That afternoon, you go for a ride up in the mountain in a gondola, then take a leisurely swim in the heated pool. The mountain air and scenery are great. So is the huge steak dinner you're served that night, which is
These
topped off
entitled motherfuckers. Where you get these kids from? I would hate all of them.
with fresh strawberries for dessert.
How did you? Who's paying for this?
You're very rich.
You're very rich, clearly.
But okay.
Also, is the air magnet attached to the bike with the lock, or is the bike just locked with the?
The bike is just locked.
Because you'd think they could just take
just
the
take
air
the-
magnet.
just pop the air magnet off with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's to be a really special screwdriver, but yeah, probably.
Well,
You think again how glad you are that you decided to come to bike camp. You're sure that your experience here will make all the difference when the big race rolls around. Your last thought before falling asleep that night is, I'm going to win the Tour of America. Nothing's going to stop me. The next morning, you
Especially
wake
not
up and find that the air magnet has been stolen from your
there
Superbike.
it is.
Oh, damn.
Cut off with a hacksaw. You can't believe it.
So it wasn't a screwdriver, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, I'm
You
keeping up.
keep running your fingers over the space on the handlebars where the air magnet used to be. Who could have done such a thing?
Dad.
Dad.
You know it's that.
Yeah.
Smack.
Maybe he should have made the bike, the air magnet, out of the indestructible metal. That's a thought. As well.
They just take the whole bike.
Yeah, yeah.
You report the theft to Ollie Strauss, the camp director.
Okay, here we go.
He immediately calls the police.
Snitch.
An officer arrives about an hour later. Wow.
Hour. What, is this in a black neighborhood? You call them, they show up in a fucking hour. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now we know where this is. Straight out of Compton bike. The fuck?
And he and Mr. Strauss begin an investigation. Not surprisingly, no one will admit to the theft. And unfortunately, no clues are found. Whoever did the job was clever enough not to leave fingerprints. You have to face the fact that while your bike is still as good as any in the country, it's no longer a superbike. For the next 2 days, you ride along with the other bikers, usually coming in near the rear of the pack. You can't stop thinking about the theft. You figure that whoever stole the air magnet probably tried to attach it to their own bike.
Yeah, fuckers.
That would be a very dumb move.
Once he found that it wouldn't work anymore, chances are he hid it and buried it somewhere so that no one could discover the evidence of their crime.
Why doesn't it work if it's not attached?
Why don't he call it Joe?
Calibrated.
It was like coated, yeah.
Yeah.
Call it,
Coated.
It's probably got some biological shit in it, too.
It's probably made by Gene Comp.
You can't help feeling a little depressed.
Yeah, I guess.
You still love biking, and you've got a great bike, but you know that without the air magnet, you don't have a chance at winning the Tour of America this year.
Because you ain't shit. You're just a fucking loser with an air magnet.
Now that you can't cheat, oh.
Yeah, I cheated my way all the way here, and now look at me. Kids, don't cheat.
Poor
That's
rich kid can't cheat his way to the Tour of America.
I guess I go back and have another steak and some strawberries when I'm done. Heated pool and racial
bad.
slurs valley.
The scientists can't figure out how to make another one. There's no way that Dr. Kepler.
Has more than one.
Yeah.
He's working on it now. That's why I ain't called him on his cell phone yet.
Yeah, he's working on the Airmetric Mark II.
Yeah.
You're tempted to stay in bike camp anyway. You'd still like to become a world-class racer, and it's the best training you could get anywhere. Besides, there's a slight chance the thief might be caught, and you could get your air magnet back. Yeah. On the other hand, maybe you should drop out. You're not looking forward to telling Dr. Kepler about the theft, but maybe if you explain what happened, he'll give you a new air magnet.
There's going to be heck to pay when I get back, and I know that already. I probably shouldn't even go back. I just learned how to ride my bike from Squaw Valley back to New Jersey and New York and shit. And anybody got toll money? Because I know I'm going to need it.
If you stay in bike camp, turn to page 115. If you drop out and pay a call to Dr. Kepler, turn to page 53. So, yeah.
It's a big one. I want to stay here. I want to catch this motherfucker. Because we know it's Thad, right?
You
Come
know
on.
it's Thad's bitch ass.
It's
thieving
not going to be
motherfucker.
his henchman, Flipto, the Martian.
I think we can track it down.
Yeah, I think we can.
We
Yeah.
can solve this
Yeah.
mystery.
We can
You know what,
amateur sleuth this.
You're going to sleuth it out?
Because he's not going to give us another air magnet.
No, he's been-
Yeah, someone
Pissed off
stole
that
it.
we lost
What
the
did you
first
do
one.
if it's the last one?
You mean the thing I told you to be careful not to have it stolen? You got it stolen. Yeah. Oh, so glad I can trust you. You
No,
can
not trust.
you can test my new device. Just stand on this X right here.
It's called the fuck off.
And your parents don't know you're here, correct? Do you have parents? We don't know.
All right. So I got one vote for everybody.
No, we're unanimous.
Cool, unanimous to stay
Yeah.
in camp.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay back
So we're
there.
gonna find out what happens if we stay in bike camp next week. Turn the page fun.
Yeah.
This has been Superbike. I've been with Stacy Pawlowski. Stacy, it's February. What's going on with you?
I don't know. Do we have like some
I don't know. Why are you
Shakespeare Raw? Because I only do the same stuff that you do.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, Shakespeare
Mostly.
Raw doesn't start until March.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yeah.
You have No Dice.
No Dice every Monday. Probably some dinner detectives.
Okay.
Science shows. Regular stuff.
All right. Sweet. You can see Stacy Pawlowski live
At
in
your local
person
library.
at your local library. There you go. That's enough. You can see Stacy Pawlowski at your local library on the internet for an hour at a time. All right, Brian, Mr. Brian Barrett, thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. What's going on with you February?
I believe February 7th at Ampersand Theater. Ex Machina is having a show,
cool.
which is sci-fi improv in which they go on crazy sci-fi adventures. I am the talking computer, but I don't talk. I just use musical notes. And the 14th, I believe, we have No Dice Live
That is correct.
on
Yes.
Valentine's Day. It's the V-Day D&D, I don't know.
You gonna say VD and
D&D Day?
D&D V-Day.
DNVD
Because
Day.
otherwise it's like DVD and D. I don't know. Anyway, February 14th, also at Ampersand Theater. It's live improvised role-playing. Dungeons and Dragons style.
Yeah. Check that out if you're in Milwaukee. That's at the new Ampersand Theater space on 10th Street in Wisconsin.
That's right.
All right. And then Mr. Brian Green, thank you for being here this week. What's going on with you in February?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing else.
It's Black History Month, bitches. I ain't got to do nothing. 28 of the coldest, shittiest days in the fucking world. And it's ours.
February
So
is the
thanks.
You
worst.
got 29
I'm going
this
to
year,
give
I
dude
think.
his air
It's a leap
magnet
year.
back. I'm sorry.
Can't wait for next week.
I'll put on this can of Arizona iced tea and make it fly over here because I'm thirsty.
Thank you so much to Sexy Hackers for giving us this wonderful, wonderful space. Thank you to Jason for doing all the engineering, making us sound like
Big ups.
good people. And please go ahead and go to their website and get yourself a T-shirt and follow us there as well. sexyhackers.tv. All right. .com, and that's where you can see all of the podcasts and the Twitch stuff that they do, including Who Let Me Read This and All Arcadians Theater. And then also go ahead and visit the Sexy Hackers website and get yourself a T-shirt. They are oh so comfortable and efficacious, and they make excellent gifts for your sweetheart on Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And what? Oh yeah, and feel free to put in promo code FUN at the while you're shopping for it. You get 20% off.
Or come here and do this and they'll give you one. Bitches.
And lastly, thank you so much for being you, listening to us read to you. And with that, I'm Nick Fear, and I will see you next week through your ears.
SexyHackers.com! Stream Team!